Time and time again we have settled these lands. Oh yes, we have settled for many, many times. And every time I have told this tale, it has ended the same way. The kingdom builds, the kingdom expands. It does its best to try and make its people happy. Yet every time it is overrun, it is destroyed and corrupted by those who lurk during the night. And even though my lands always put up the best of fights, it never works at the end of the day. So this time I tell you another story. I tell you the story of the next kingdom who settled here after the last one fell after a very long time. But this one was a very different man. After 10 days he became smart. He became the most intelligent king of them all. So will he stand or will he fall? Just watch on and you will see how well he did as he ran the next kingdom to settle these cursed lands. And now the day of 10 arises. The sun continues to rise in a lovely direction. Though as you can see, something is not right. Even though, as we have charted, this kingdom is growing, this kingdom is healthy, and everything is right. Everything seems cursed and strange. Our men now place pumpkins upon the poles. Why does this happen, I ask? 'Tis nothing to do with it being the month of October, perhaps. October is a month of niceness and a month of pleasantry, and yet instead we have all this evil trying to arise. But as we receive our daily budget for today, I continue to expand in the boredoms of the kingdoms you see. I wish to begin my farming project, for while the monsters lurk far in the east, I'm going to create an agricultural beast. If I can harvest enough food, then I can produce even more money with which I can use to improve the mood. So now with money I have saved, before we venture into further days, and before another blood moon arises, I'm going to continue adventuring further and further west. I do know it's the direction that is best, because it is where the boat lies, and the boat is the thing that will float down the river and take us to our escape. For these monsters are no longer something of a jape. They are an evil. They must be cleansed. They must be purged. For everything that happens here is not good. So, I pay my dues, I pay my fines, I pay my fares, I pay for more of a boat to be constructed, and now it gets closer to completion. Though while I still have some of the day on my back, I do wonder if should I go west and recruit more villagers, for that is the only place where they now seem to roam. This is a place devoid of those hovels. I guess what is given in one hand must be taken with another. For while I've been given bountiful lands and plenty of rabbits to hunt, it seems that instead I must now try to cope with the lack of food, and the lack of people. But I can now begin to pace down my farm, and I can make sure my kingdom grows even further. But first things first, I do know that tonight is due to be a blood moon, or perhaps it will be. Perhaps the celestial calendar will not line up. I do not hear those strange noises that always come when the blood moon rises. So I should still be prepared though, so I will spend the last of my money today on a scythe that will be used to increase my wealth. For once I have gained a farmer who will grow foods that will provide plenty of health, we shall be sorted and we shall be good. So now we will just let the sun set and the moon will rise. Perhaps it does seem barbaric that we burn these pumpkins and place skull poles around, but at the same time, I feel it's quite nice. A very strange touch, but I feel it's one that might send a message to enemies, those who wish to harm us. Those monsters that attack us every night, they only speak in the tongue of violence. They do not negotiate. They do not believe in peace. They do not do nice pleasantries. So perhaps instead, if we send them a message to say that we are ready for violence as well, and we can also deal violence, perhaps that will tell the enemy that we are capable of fighting back. Well, they do attack, and they attack in quite a number today. About what was usual for the 10th night of this kingdom, or any kingdom that chooses to settle upon these cursed lands. But it seems we are going to triumph. They are falling. The catapult continues to fire straight and true, killing the monsters through and through. A very well placed rock finishes off our enemies, and now we are ready to go and recruit new villagers. And my archer as well tries to harvest more rabbits, though he seems to be having issues with his accuracy today, though he does manage to take one at last. I will take these 2 coins, my friend, or the additional coin you have gifted me, and I will invest these in recruiting new villagers. And my trader friend as well, he continues to fill the pouch. Look at all the money that lies within there. That could be enough to perhaps procure our survival and take our boat to the next land. But alas, I wish for this farm to be built. I am torn between escape and development. But I do feel in my heart of hearts, if I invested in this farm, I would be ready to begin growing more food. I only need the 1 farmer for now anyway, so save 1 coin and then I will spend the rest on the boat. It is economics, my friend, for you see, I am going to delay the end. No, this kingdom is a beginning. This kingdom which has not even had a name. It's a kingdom that now sits at 10 days old, or even 11 for that matter. And yet, our pocketbook grows fatter. But there's no name for the kingdom. We do nice colours, we are a colour of mustard. Perhaps we should call ourselves the Kingdom of Dustard. And that is the name I will settle on. It was the first one that came to my head. So, I go to bed now, feeling happy that we are now the Kingdom of Dustard. And the Kingdom of Dustard will be the one that rises, and will rise further than any kingdom that has ever existed on these lands before. For we shall make sure that we will set our boat not on the shore, but it will fly. If boats could fly, that is. Instead, boats float. They float down the river. And also I have discovered a new profession. Herding these deer. I herd them to the village. Perhaps then, yes. I herd them to the village, and we shall hunt them instead. Or at least my treacherous archer would shoot me instead. Fortunately, he did not bring about my end today, but as you can see, I just continue to grow even more wealthy. This land, it is so bountiful, you see. It just gives us more and more. And I should just make sure that we use our investment. So I will upgrade the walls once more. Perhaps that is what I shall do. Because if we upgrade the walls, then we'll be safer. A blood moon is due, I do know that. For you see, I have predicted correctly. It is coming, my friends. The 2nd blood moon to grace this kingdom. But I feel this kingdom is more ready than any other we've built so far. So I say, let the moon come. Let it rise into the sky with its foul colour. I am going to show these monsters what it's for. They will not kill us today. I even hear the sound of the portal belching. Oh, it's unleashing many a foe. And yes, we may have to go toe to toe. But with my catapult and my archers, we will survive a 2nd blood moon. It's a matter of trivia. Oh yes, you may come, but you do not have access to your flying spawn yet, or your large monsters. No. No. You are just still a horde of weaklings, all who shall be purged. Oh yes. You haven't a hope. We shall win this night. For I do grow concerned. The moon is already reaching its apex, and yet not a monster has arrived, but then speak of a devil, and he shall always appear. They are attacking and they are also stealing some wealth. Fine, we will let them have that. The kingdom is still in good health. But we are becoming to attacking more and more number. It is becoming a concern. The walls may be beginning to falter. But I know my archers will continue to fire straight and true, or at least they fire in arcs, which still pierce the monster in their hearts. Oh yes, I do cheat as well. I cheat with the poems. I cheat with my rhymes. Perhaps one of my engineers now would be so kind to us to reload the catapult. For that wall will not last much longer. We are hitting them as hard as we can, and we even hit the day of 12. But still, they attack the walls. The walls are coming down further. Archers, continue to fire. Continue to make sure those monsters are loaded onto the funeral pyre I will prepare for them. And they have all fallen, and my builders were slow. Not really the best show in the world. But now the day officially begins. I claim my wealth from the trader, and I now just sit there. I have so much money, what should I do? Perhaps the walls should be upgraded once more, or even better, the tower should now be increased in power. And for the extra additional tower as well, I will hire an additional archer, so 2 more gold goes to the archer. The rest will go to the boat, and then an additional coin will go to procuring an additional citizen. But now my farmer knows what he is doing. He tills the lands, and he lives safely now. There is nothing for him to worry about, you see. For since he exists in the realm where the monsters do not attack, since they attack only on one plane, our survival is now guaranteed. The second land beckons to us, a way out of these initial bleak areas. Yes, they may say the forests here are beautiful. They may say even it gets dark, there is still plenty of wildlife, but we need to leave these lands. We need to do what all the other kingdoms failed to do, and that was make sure they could escape. But they all fell at the end of the day. But I have invested so much into that boat, it must now surely be ready to float. I keep giving it coins and it keeps getting closer to completion. I just need to continue strengthening our defences. Delay the inevitable, the day where the monsters would overwhelm us. For that is the day where they would win. So the longer we keep them back, the better we will do. But for now, I will just continue to invest in a boat. A balanced approach is the best iron, my friends. Those who approach the boat too far, or those who approach defences too far, will only find themselves in a position of hurt. For spend too long on the defences, and too much time will have passed. You will have reached the point where the monsters are in such strength that they will just surely overwhelm you anyway. And as you can see, the night of 12 is now about to begin. But before the night begins, I do have 2 more coins, and greed overtakes me, or at least the desire to escape is creeping up on me. I give these 2 more coins to the boat. I hope that is enough now. It's surely there are enough components there to see that it will now float. So now I return to base, for the sun has truly set. My archer continues to give me with more coins. 2 more coins which will be invested in the boat. But that will be for another day, for I must return to my base and I must oversee the defence. I say hello to the farmer as well. He continues to build up our defences most well. I also do wonder, perhaps I should now expand my frontiers. Perhaps if I was to expand my frontiers further to the east, then we would really be showing it to the beast. Construct a wall around here, and then we'll be ready. And why does the moon have a face now? That is not settling. Are the monsters controlling the celestial bodies? The heavens, are they submitting to them? This is not natural, this is not nice. I do not enjoy this. Perhaps it will spoil the big crop of rice. Oh, they are manipulating the moon. They are getting more powerful. We must make sure we are ready to escape, my friend. At least this is a peaceful night, so perhaps the smile of this moon is most benign instead. But either way, the way its eyes arc, I cannot trust it. I will never trust the moon. All it does is signal the coming of death, for that is all night is. Day is the day we expand, night is the night of death. For now we reached unlucky 13, a number that is known for its superstitious connotations. But I am not faltered, I am not wavered. Instead I will continue to invest my cash and make sure we have enough archers, we have enough men, we just have enough of everything we need. I continue to borrow money from my archers for they continue to procure additional funds. Though as you can see, I cannot upgrade any further. I am being denied my ability to place additional defences. So, I gift 8 coins to the town, and now our walls are mainly made of stone. I even gain additional walls to be built as well, as a free bonus I guess. But while my builders work on that, I must now give an additional coin to my lovingly built farms, or at least not to the farms, to the boat. And though I do agree now, 2 builders are not enough. A 3rd builder shall be procured. I will allow my hunters to hunt, and I will go and grab another villager. And when I say grab, it does mean it sounds like I kidnap, but please be assured, while I am giving these people work, and while they do seem to give their funds to me, I am giving them a chance, a safer life, a life where they are free. For all that happens when they are in that hovel, they are just free to die, they are free to catch diseases, they are free to just exist in horrible rags. But I give this man a coin and his robes become most fine. So you see, the purpose for which they are serving is most divine. For I am also the king who is benign, which could be said for the smile on the moon, but for now I do not trust the moon. The way it stares is just one that is most unsettling. I would rather it remained blank and faceless. But even then it does not secure me. I may be the paranoid king, yes I am, but it's always for a good reason, always for a good purpose. Archer also gives me additional coins. Now I can recruit that additional builder, and my farmer continues to grow his crops most well. I am pleased with the progress I am seeing in this base, and now as you can see everything looks better. I now have walls, I have the chance to even upgrade the hall. But first things first, I do believe we need the builder. So I go to the man with the hammers. He will produce an additional one for me. And with that hammer I will have an additional builder. And 2 more coins lie in my treasury. They shall be used once more to fund the construction of our boat, which will float. But for now, I will not leave the base. But I will grab that coin, oh yes. Yes, I know, greed is my downfall. But it's necessary, it is. And those rabbits, they do try to venture into our base, even though their fate will be most horrible. I know the killing of these creatures, these poor sweet creatures, and the moon continues to stare and watch. I feel like it is a god of some sorts. Maybe it is a god, even though I find it to be quite the cod. All it does is stare. But I feel it does not watch over us, no. This is a high god who... Well, not a high god even at that. He is a low god, that is what he is. He is a low god who favours the monsters, he watches their progress. Though is this 2 nights passing in a row? That, no, I stand corrected. I suspected it would be 2 nights in a row where we would see no attack. But instead, they do attack. And they attack in numbers, I know. But we will overcome, we will triumph. Oh, we will. As you can see, a well-aimed bolt from the catapult just sees that they are all destroyed. So the day of 14 now arises, and I will now decide what I should do. While I cannot invest additional coinage into my towers or into my walls, they have reached the level of which they want to be. I will now just begin to additionally invest more coins, or at least, well, not additionally. They will all be focused now. They will focus on the construction of my dear boat. I have a bag of coins, and I have the men. Yes, this kingdom may seem underdeveloped, it may seem to be poor in some aspects, but my pocketbook is full, enough to pay for passage. We will now make sure we leave these lands. Oh yes. I worked hard for this, I really did. After all those times I oversaw those kingdoms who died tragic deaths, now we do it. No more coins may be given to this boat. We have secured our passage out of these lands. Oh, by my hands, we will see that we grow stronger. We will construct an empire of sorts, perhaps, with many a port. And each port will give us access to a way of trade, where we sell goods that we have made. And we will be safe. There will be peace, for I will slay every last one of those beasts. Oh, they're going to die most tragic deaths, but it is to my health that they die. For one cannot exist with the other. No, our existence is not symbiotic. It is one of confrontation. So I will allow the boat to be completed now, and we will leave these lands. Come, my builders, see that our project is finished. Place every last plank you can on this vessel. We are leaving these lands once and for all. We will become greater and grander. We will be the kingdom with splendor. Or we need to continue investing. Or we have done it. Now we may sail. We may make it to the new land. Our builder escorts the boat. Now it will float. It sails quite finely. I will return to supervise its escape. But before we can leave, I must make sure the kingdom has enough time to defend ourselves. I suspect that what we are doing will not be looked upon kindly by those who wish to see this kingdom come to harm. So, I say to my builders, invest in the walls. See that that wall is stronger, and it will delay their attack. It will delay their approach as they come to attack us. I will now go, even though night falls. I trust my men to defend, for it is just a white moon tonight. Yes, it may be the one with a smile, which we have not worked out if it is benign, benevolent, or even malevolent. But it rises either way. I will monitor that the boat will become the one that will float as it sails down the river and prepares to leave. Though what good is a boat without a map, by the way? We must procure the location of the map, though I do know where it is. It lies in the east. Oh yes, it does. And we know what that implies. The boat lying, well, the map lying in the east, the boat will sail west today, for that is the direction I have deemed to be best. Going to the east means we would venture near the capital of where the monsters lurk, near that portal where they are all spontaneously generated. And though my archers are very much venerated, it is a journey I must make alone. For I will wind my fingers down to the bone, as my builders have already done so in construction of this boat. But now it floats, it knows what it's doing. And even now the day of 15 rises. I assume that my kingdom which I have left will rise most magnificently. But while we still have quite the journey to make, I must now make sure that everything is going according to fate. I will now ride east and I will check on my kingdom. I will gather any coins which are owed to me, and then I will construct the map. I will make sure we have every tool we need, for I do not want a single mistake to delay our escape. So I continue my ride, Those other citizens who made it to the base as well, the base where we have our operations, will now become archers. Oh yes, they will. If there are no other tools for them to use, archery is the skill I deem them to possess. And I see bad news has struck as well. It seems that the monsters breached our defences. I must pay for repairs on the walls. Looks like a battle happened here. Perhaps without my kingly presence, my archers faltered quite a bit. So I will see that the walls are rebuilt, and I will pray that my archers will do their job, for I must now make my way further and further. I make the quick journey to the east, for the sun rises quite quickly. It will not be long until another moon approaches. But as I can see, I cannot invest coinage in this sign, so I suspect that we are ready to go. For over there lies a portal, a land where I will not go. For over there lies only death and destruction. So I will continue to invest in construction instead. I will recruit an additional archer to see that things are done, or even an additional builder, for it seems we are not overrun, but we are underdeveloping. So I pay for a new builder who will construct that wall. It will stand most tall, though he must complete its construction as soon as possible, for bad things happen to those who do not complete their tasks. So construct the wall, repair the wall, make sure the hall stands straight and tall. I now continue my journey into the west, for if I am further away from those monsters, they will not kill me at the end of the day. And I leave an additional task for my builder as well. Though perhaps I should have built, well, not built, or at least I should have donated an additional hammer. I'll make sure that wall over there is also constructed, for if we also increase the defences in the west, for that is a direction where all the things that are best are lying, well, it will at least delay the inevitable approach. If a successful siege occurs, then disaster will come to us. Though it seems that our boat is now possessed, well, not possessed, it is possessed by us. But it has made it further than that area where the gift of the gods is lying. So, it's made it past the camp of people, the camp of hovels. I do have builders by the way, but they are all working on the boat. Perhaps an additional worker working the walls though would have been the best thing. If only there was a way I could verbally delegate, so my villagers knew what they were supposed to be doing. While I agree that we need to have this boat floating down the river and ready to go, I wish to see that someone was rebuilding the walls, making sure they are ready to prevent the kingdom's fall. Or perhaps this king has been too hasty. He thought the taste of adventure was one that was too tasty. And now he will pay the price for what he has done. No, The builder I recruited, he will build those walls, he will see that they stand straight and tall. He will protect our lands, I am sure of it. For those monsters do not have access to the flying demon yet, and the day of 16 has risen without error. So, we must be safe. Oh yes we are. And now we go past the statue of the fallen warrior. He who is mysterious but can also bless us. As you can see, there is very little distance now to cover. We are going to make it. We are going to leave these lands and go in search of my mother. Oh yes. Continue to pull the boat, my friend. To and fro, heave and ho. Bring the boat to the new lands. Oh yes, we will. Oh, we will. Adventure awaits and a new land will be ours. We will leave this land where we have become quite mad, though it did not make us very bad. No, 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 this is the most successful kingdom we have seen. Perhaps not the longest lived, but it is the one who accomplished the goal. The goal of escape, the goal of adventure, the goal of expanding our horizons. We will venture forth to a new land. Perhaps things there will not be as bland. Or then again, maybe things will be quite dangerous. Even more so than we have already faced. Perhaps the skills of this king will be put to the test. Well, he can now quickly erect a kingdom, and he can see that it escapes. He will have to now really work harder than ever to procure its defense. Or will he fail, and will the kingdom fall? I do not know, my friends. That is an answer that we will have to wait and see. But for now, I'm focused more on seeing that this boat reaches its goal. I do not even know, though, if it's night or day. The sun setting is not the best thing to see. Or at least we cannot see daylight at all. But as you can see, there is still further to go. These lands do expand quite far, you know. Though I will still take an additional coin, and I will see what further distance we have left. As you can see, we escape over here, and we see the lands where it is quite foggy and murky. There is not far to go now. I would predict we have made it 3/4 of a way to our goal. So this horse, who is still quite a foal, he will take me back, and I will see that the kingdom is prepared. For the blood moon is rising, my friends, and that is a night where monsters do not give up. Usually they will retreat or just die on any ordinary night, but this is a night where they always prefer to fight. I will make my way over, see that the base is safe, and if not, we'll be running for our lives. A desperate struggle may lie ahead of us. Or perhaps if I was to give coins to the statue and pay homage, perhaps I can make things stronger. If I do this, perhaps my archers will fight stronger tonight. Perhaps this gift will make them stronger. They will fight even longer, and we will hold on to our kingdom, and we will delay our deaths for a little longer. But I will still make my way over, see how the kingdom is doing. I must always check on my kingdom, you see. Make sure it is prospering, make sure it is expanding. For a king who has no kingdom is not much to be reckoned with. Then again, neither is a king without a crown, and the crown still sits atop my head. Though I hear the blood moon music, and yet the moon is still white. It still has the face of evil, oh yes it does, but why was the moon not red? Why is there not a challenge tonight? I do not know, but I will continue to ride. Perhaps I'm riding a little too fast, but it seems that my kingdom was not infiltrated, though I do hear... Oh no! No! They are advancing. That was tragic, I can tell you. That was very close. It seems our defences are faltering. I have paid off my merchant friend, and we need a new builder, for it seems there is none available in this area. But even with that additional builder, I have no coin now. Perhaps I wasted it all on that lovely little statue, but I do have another coin here. I will take it and I will use it. This coin will be used to rebuild a wall, though even now, because my walls stand so tall, they cost even more to repair. Not a good situation, I can tell you, my friend. If they break through tonight, things might be at an end. This king made a foolish error, I will tell you, is what I can comprehend. But if we run fast enough, perhaps we will still escape. That is my plan. For the farmer has no money to spare, so I will ride further and further. I will make it out to the west. Maybe it seems that this king is abandoning the kingdom of Dustard, but it is necessary. And perhaps this builder as well. Perhaps if he was to defend the kingdom and rebuild the walls and make sure they stand so tall, we will be in a stronger position. But instead this builder foolishly chooses to run. He is not abandoning me, I know. But what is that music? Is that Blood Moon music? No. It is a soundtrack most pleasant. One to make my ears feel happier. One to remind me that things are not all lost. Things are nice. Life is good. This forest, as you can see, still stands nicely. Sure, it contains the ruins of kingdoms gone past, ones that we have overseen in times long ago. But at the same time, even these lovely sacred glows tell me that things could still go nice. For this is a forest of beauty, one of nice nature. We do not have to spend our time fighting, we do not have to spend our time surviving. Yes, we should not submit to the rule of the enemy, but perhaps we should cooperate, perhaps we should find peace. It would just be nice if those beasts knew the meaning of negotiation and that of diplomacy and those finer arts. But, as you can see, the boat is ready. My men now sit on it. However, there is a fee to be paid. It seems there is one last obstacle for us to overcome. We must now acquire 8 more coins before we can sail. Or perhaps the king, who is somewhat illiterate and somewhat blind to the laws of economy. It is in fact, we must pay a fee of 10. So we must now source 10 more coins, though the economy of my kingdom is beginning to shatter and clatter, for it is becoming weaker and weaker with each passing day. I regret not investing further in the defences of our kingdom. I regret many things I have done wrong. I feel like I may have escaped too early. Perhaps I have done the wrong thing. But at the same time, this king has a complaint. Why were the builders not complying with the orders of a king? Why did they choose all to go on the boat? I know that they are all making it float, and one is returning to the kingdom now. But is he too late? Is he too few? I feel guilty. I feel like things might go wrong. I feel like things aren't going right. We must try and escape. We must harvest those coins. Once we have 10 sitting in my pocketbook, then we will leave. But the defences are weaker and they're not being repaired. But then again, if a day of 18 has begun, perhaps we will survive. We will see what has happened. I will assess the damage. I see beggars near the village, so this cannot be well. Yes, one of the walls has survived, and perhaps this farmer has gifted me some more coins. But some of these coins may need to be invested now in the defence of my base and the rebuilding of the lands. Even this wall here has begun to suffer. And I suspect the trader has few coins to donate. But I see I might have enough to escape. So now I make the difficult choice. Stay one more night, or do I leave? We leave. We are in a precarious position, my friends. The blood moon is late, and it could be due any second. I know my builder has orders to continue improving the base anyway, so he will do what he can to repair and assist the needy. But I, who is not greedy, will now escape. I will leave. I take these 10 coins, and with them I will leave. I will begin a new land, I will begin anew. But I do it not out of selfishness, I do it out of adventure. And while that may sound selfish, this adventure is for a purpose most divine, for I will make those monsters benign, and I will make them benevolent and not malevolent. I will make them submit to our will instead, and yes, I do say that we should not submit to the rule of the enemy. But I am not the enemy, I am the ally. So what we are doing is what is right. I will go, and I will turn this into a victory. I will see that we leave these lands, we find the source of the enemy, we find his blackened heart, and we stab it once and for all. And then his empire will fall apart. And from the ashes of his, something will be born anew. Not an empire of evil, but one of good. My empire of good. A peaceful land, coexisting with nature. But for now, we must leave these lands. So, I give unto thee 10 shiny coins. And I have a few to spare. And now, we set sail. We leave this land, and go to a new land. The crown is safe. It survived till the day of 18. Not a record, I know. We have lived longer. But the most important thing is we have escaped. And now we go to the new lands. The land of a second. What lies over there I do not know. But we will continue to expand. We will continue to explore. My builders, I implore. Work hard and understand our task. For our adventure is far from over. But our time for now is at an end. So I say goodbye to you, my most generous friend.